welcome to Barca News. It is December 15th, 2025. And Real Madrid have launched a fresh attack on Barcelona as Florentino Perez continues to get desperate as his project is in total decline and in a total free fall. Also, Jean Laporta has met with Robert Lewandowski's agent. I'm going to tell you why. And finally, a La Liga club have filed a complaint against Barcelona for the sale of Pablo Torre. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. Welcome to the Barca News Podcast, live podcast, which is on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where not only we discuss Barcelona news, but where I also get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments, answering your questions, and getting a discussion going. For those of you who will be watching when the podcast ends, I will be putting timestamps in the description and chapters in the timeline in case you do want to skip through the discussion and get straight into the news. Having said all that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All this helps the channel continue to grow. If you're looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kids, Kid Bag, or Fanatics. You can also get merchandise from any football team or any sports team around the world in those websites. If you're looking to place any sports bets, you can head to Bet Us, where not only can you bet on Barcelona matches, but you can bet on any sporting event from around the world. All links are down below in the description, and click on them and get access to deals and offers that otherwise you wouldn't get access to if you went straight to the websites. And of course, with Christmas right around the corner, take advantage of those deals. Hit those links. Buy your loved ones Barca stuff for other teams because they might not support Barca. Anyways, today, ladies and gentlemen, today is the big day because today we announced the winner of the Cat Culé plushie. So stay around because we're going to do the draw live because total transparency. I don't want anyone thinking that this is a fake giveaway or that I'm giving it away to, I don't know, my friends or something. This is a real giveaway where everyone who followed the rules of the giveaway on the Instagram channel will get to participate. And of course, I'm going to pick the winner live. Total transparency. We're not here to fool anyone. We're not here to create any clickbaits. Yesterday, someone said, Mo, stop with the clickbaits, because on yesterday's video, the title was Saudi Prince wants to buy Barca. And he said, that's a clickbait, Mo. I was like, all right, hold on. Let me back up a little. Let me do the math. I took out my calculator. I had a piece of paper. I had my pencil ready. I was like, all right. So the Saudi Prince wants to buy Barca. So I made a video about the Saudi Prince wanting to buy Barca. And I titled it, Saudi Prince wants to buy Barca. And that apparently adds up to clickbait. If someone can explain that to me, please do. But apparently I'm not allowed to use titles that describe the news I'm going to talk about in the video because that constitutes clickbait. Gotta help me. Anyways, let's begin with the news. And as always, the first segment of news is comprised of multiple bits of news combined together for the sake of brevity. Starting with that, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is the ceremony for the FIFA, the Best Awards. FIFA, the Best Awards, the Best FIFA Awards. I think it's called the Best FIFA Awards, which, of course, it's very similar to the Ballon d'Or. There's different categories: best player, best male player, best female player, best coach, best team, best man. Same as Ballon d'Or, but, of course, this one's organized by FIFA as opposed to the Ballon d'Or, which is organized by France football. Now, tomorrow will be the official ceremony in Doha, Qatar. And of course, there are several nominated players, both male and female, from Barcelona, as also coaches. Now, let's look at the list of the nominees for the best FIFA awards. Let's see. This is directly from FIFA's page. Let's start with the men's award. Here we have the best FIFA men's player nominees. And this is the list. Of course, Ousmane Dembélé, since he the Ballon d'Or winner with PSG. Ashraf Hakimi, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe. I heard they made a separate category for most penalties scored that weren't really penalties, and they're going to give it to Mbappe. I'm kidding, of course. Nuno Mendes, Cole Palmer, Pedri, Coutinho, Mohamed Salah, Vitinha, Lamine Yamal, and that's it. So 3 Barcelona players nominated for the best men's FIFA player, best man. It's a long name. It's for the best player, all right? 3 Barcelona players, Pedri, Lamine, and Coutinho. But of course, everyone's bet is that it's going to be Ousmane Dembele who will win the best men player award. Now, these are the previous winners, by the way. Last year, Vinicius Jr., he lost the Ballon d'Or but won the FIFA best. Before that, it was Lionel Messi, Robert Lewandowski, Lionel Messi, Luka Modric, Penaldo, Messi, Messi, Penaldo, Kaká, Cannavaro, Ronaldinho. I'm not going to keep going down the list. But pretty much if you do the math, it's 5 for Messi, 8 for Penaldo. And then we'll see who will be the winner during this year. Now, let's continue down the list of nominees because we do have the best FIFA men's goalkeeper. And there is a Barcelona player here. So the nominees are Alisson Becker, Thibaut Courtois, Gianluigi Donnarumma, El Dibu, Emiliano Martinez, Manuel Neuer. No, that was terrible. I was trying to do like an angry German accent, but that was horrible. I apologize if there are any Germans watching. David Raya, Jan Sommer, Wojciech Szczęsny, who is nominated for the Best Goalkeeper Award. I don't know how, but hey, I'll take it. Of course, it's expected that Donnarumma will be the winner, given PSG's performance. Then we have the Best FIFA Men's Coach, and here we have another Barcelona nominee. Of course, the nominees are Javier Aguirre, Mikel Arteta, Luis Enrique, and there we go, our one and only Hansi Flick, Enzo Maresca, Roberto Martinez, Arne Slot. By the way, so many Spanish coaches. Is it the era of Spanish coaching now? It used to be the German era of coaching. Has it changed? I don't know. Anyways, it's expected, of course, that Luis Enrique will win tomorrow's award. And then we move to the Best FIFA Women's Player, where there are several Barcelona players nominated because, of course, the women's team is the best female team in the world. We start with the list of nominees with Sandy Baltimore, Natalie Bjorn, Aitana Bonmatí, our queen. Well, our princess. I think our queen is Alexia Putellas. Once she retires, Aitana will become our queen. But Aitana Bonmatí, Lucy Bronze, Mariana Caldente, Temwa, Chawinga, Kadidiatu Diani, Melchi Dumornay, Patrick Guijarro, another Barca player, Lindsay Heaps, Lauren James, Chloe Kelly, Eva Payor, another Barca player, Claudia Pina, another Barca player, Alexia Putellas, our queen, another Barca player, Alessia Russo, Leah Williamson, and that's it. Now, it's expected that Aitana Bonmatí will win the FIFA Best Women's Player Award again. And if you look at the previous winners, by the way, we have Aitana Bonmatí in 2024, Aitana Bonmatí in 23, Alexia Putellas in 22, and Alexia Putellas in 21. 4 Barcelona players, well, two Barcelona players, but 4 years back-to-back that Barcelona have won this award. And if Aitana Bonmatí wins it this year, it's going to be 5. Total and absolute domination by our ladies at the Barcelona Feminine. Now, let's look at the Best FIFA Women's Coach Award. And no, this doesn't go to a female coach. This goes to the best coach that was coaching a women's team. Just to clarify. Because I think I saw a comment somewhere. It's like, why are there guys nominated? And it's like, oh my God. God help us. Anyways, Sonia Bompastor, Jonathan Giraldes. This, of course, was the Barca Feminine coach. Seb Hines, Renee Slegers, Sarina Wigman, and that's it. And then also we have the Best FIFA Women's Goalkeeper. And in this list, I think there's a Barcelona player. I didn't check, but let me see. We have Anne-Catherine Berger, Catacol. Yep, there you go, Catacol. That's our Barca Feminine goalkeeper. Christian Endler, Hannah Hampton, Anna Morehouse, Chiamaka Nadozi, Palantulis Joyce, and that's it. So Barcelona with nominees in all the categories: the best man goalkeeper, the best man coach, best women's player, best woman goalkeeper, and the best women's coach. And we'll see who will be the winners in tomorrow's ceremony that will take place in Doha, Qatar. Now, more news because, of course, tomorrow Barcelona will be playing against Guadalajara in the Copa del Rey, the first official match of the Copa del Rey for Barça. So another competition because, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 competitions is not enough. Let's add one more. But tomorrow, Barcelona will play against Guadalajara, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means 9 p.m. local time in Spain. And, of course, the team trained one last time ahead of tomorrow's match. And it's expected that tomorrow, of course, there will be lots of rotations, given that it's the Copa del Rey, the round of 32. Not too many, of course, because you never know in a Copa del Rey. You can never underestimate these lower division teams. But it's expected that we could see players like Jofre Torrens perhaps start in the left back ahead of Alejandro Valle to give him some rest. We can see Dro start in the midfield. We can see Rudy Bardagji start on the right wing. So expect some rotations tomorrow. And of course, I always welcome that because not only does it give minutes to players who haven't gotten many, but it's also nice to see what other options Barcelona have on the bench. Now, one player that missed today's training was Robert Lewandowski. As I told you yesterday, he missed the training due to back and hamstring problems. He missed it today again. So it's unlikely that Lewandowski will participate in tomorrow's match. And of course, the big question for tomorrow is who's going to be the goalkeeper? Because as you know, Mark Ter Stegen is officially back. He was declared fit for the Osasuna match. He was part of the squad. He was on the bench. So the question is, will he participate? Because Hansi Flick has made it very clear that his number one is Joan Garcia. And as you know, it's Barcelona tradition that the second goalkeeper is the one that plays in the Copa del Rey. Now, Hansi Flick so far has refused to say who's his number two, if it's Ter Stegen or Szczesny. So tomorrow, I think we're going to get the answer to that question once we see which goalkeeper starts. Now, Flick was once again asked during a pre-match press conference, and this is what he had to say in regards to the goalkeeping situation. We haven't decided yet. We don't know the starting 11. We'll have 24 more hours to recover, and we'll decide tomorrow. Ter Stegen competes on equal terms. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. We have 3 great players, and I'm delighted. It's clear what I said before. Joan is number 1. Tech had a fantastic season last year. For me, Tech is a very important player. So once again, Flick reiterating that Joan is his number 1, but he has not chosen the starting lineup tomorrow. In other words, he hasn't chosen his number 2 or doesn't want to tell us. But then he ends his answer with, Tech had a fantastic season last year. For me, Tech is a very important player. Now, I don't know if this was also to compliment Tech because he said that Ter Stegen is a great goalkeeper and he's like, all right, well, Tech too because he had a great season. Or is it more of an indication that he might go with Tech? Again, I don't know. We will find out tomorrow. Or who knows? Maybe the Flick decides, hey, I don't want to pick a number 2, so fuck it. It's going to be Joan Garcia tomorrow. In that way, he doesn't have to choose between Tech and Ter Stegen. Anyways, time will tell tomorrow. We'll see who will start. And with that, let's start with the comment section. And then we are going to talk about the decrepit old man, Florentino Perez, who is absolutely losing it and has launched yet another attack on Barcelona. Total desperation at what is supposedly the greatest club in the world, the most, the club with the most awards. They're God's chosen club. And yet they reek of desperation. Let's start with a donation from Shin. Thank you so much, my friend, for your donation and for your generosity. But Shin says, fuck the haters, bro. If they don't like your videos, they can kick rocks and go get fake Barca news from all channels, AI channels, which really are clickbait. Well, thank you, my friend. Yeah, you know what? I have seen some of those AI. AI, by the way, is really ruining things. AI was supposed to be, or I mean, it still is, I guess, but was supposed to be something that was going to help humanity and help us, continue advancement. And I guess it is in many, many aspects, but in other aspects, it's also ruining a lot of things. Like I keep coming across all these AI videos and it's so annoying. They all have this generic voice and it's like the same images and it's like, bro, like, what are we doing here? Are you that lazy to create content? You have to just go type a prompt and let the AI do it for you. I don't know. It really is ruining things. I mean, uh, and by the way, plenty of studies are showing now that people are already hesitant to think, to reason, and now even less likely because they have AI, right? They don't have to think, they don't have to reason, they don't have to research answers to questions they're asking. They can just tell AI, and AI spits out the answer, and they no longer have to use their brain and their reasoning and their critical thinking to reach those answers. AI just spits it out for them. And it's evident, by the way. It's evident. Just go on social media, and it's evident how stupid people have become. I mean, they're already stupid, but it's even more pronounced now. I see it every day, especially with a lot of the comments that I come across. Like the other day, someone was like, Mo, you always act like you're right. I was like, oh, my bad. Let me start acting like I'm wrong. Like, what? Jesus Christ. Anyways, Stanley says, hey, Mo, finally catching the live podcast. What do you think of this Gala 11 for Barça? Joan Garcia, Jules Kunde, Kouarsi, Maldini, Balde, Eric, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Coutinho, Rashford, Lewandowski, Vizca, Barça. I mean, that's pretty much how it was our starting 11 last match, except for Lewandowski, who had problems with back and hamstring discomfort. So yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, that's a really good 11. My only fear with that 11 would be that we know Rashford doesn't really press, and we know Lewandowski doesn't much. He does, but not as much, and that's because, of course, his age. So my only concern with that would be that we would be down 2 people. But if Rashford commits to helping with the press, then yeah, we can afford to have Lewandowski not press as much. I mean, you don't want him to press as much anyway. You want him to press the goalkeeper, but you mostly want him to stay in the box because that's where he's most lethal. But if you have now Lewandowski and Rashford now pressing, that becomes a little problematic. But hopefully Rashford can, get on with the program. Lanray says, yo, Mo, how you doing? Remember always asking your thoughts on Eric Pedri starting together. Apparently Flick sees it too. Are you enjoying their midfield duo so far? Could this also be a factor to our victory? I'm enjoying this a lot because Eric has been very decisive defensively speaking. I mean, just intercepting passes, cutting plays. I mean, he's been really, really good in that defensive role, which has also given more freedom to Pedri to make those forward runs and to distribute the ball more, because now he doesn't have to worry as much about defending since he has Eddie Garcia right there behind him, watching his back. So I like it a lot because not only has it improved our midfield defensively because Eric has been solid, but it's also improved us offensively because it has freed up Pedri to do more offensively speaking. So I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And Barca Mama says, pick B, pick B. For those of you who just joined, I'm picking the winner for the Cap plushie at the end of this live stream. So stay around because I'm picking the winner live. Total transparency, ladies and gentlemen. We don't do fake giveaways here. Johnny says, hello, bro, from Chicago. Ooh, must be cold over there because it's really cold over here, by the way. Last night, I took my dog out, and the real feel was... how much was it? I think it was 7 or 8 Fahrenheit, which is approximately negative 13 Celsius. It was really cold. It snowed, not yesterday, but the day before. It was beautiful. When it snows, it's beautiful. But then the following day, it's always cold as hell because, that snow just cools the air. And wind was howling, and it was so cold. My face was frozen, but my dog was loving it. He was playing in the snow. He was like freaking burying his head in the snow. He was having a good time. Meanwhile, I was miserable. But that's okay. It made me happy to see him happy. And David says, Mo, I'm sorry to say, but some Sochis are hypocrites. They say Barca is our club and not for sale, but they were willing to sell out the stadium to Frankfurt fans. I agree, and I really hope that those Sochis, I think, how many were identified? I think 500, if I remember that correctly, or 300. I hope they're all kicked out and their memberships are taken away because, yes, you're right. We're not talking about, look, if you, as a Sochi, get a ticket, let's say you can't go and you sell it, I don't know, to your brother, to your cousin, to a friend of yours, I get it. But to purposely go and sell it to a German fan, knowing what they did the last time with all the destruction they did at the Camp Nou, throwing trash, throwing objects, peeing from the stands, where so many Barca fans had to leave because they felt like they were in danger. Knowing that that's how they behave, you go and knowingly sell your ticket to another German fan, and you're in the process putting other Sochis and other fans at risk, then you don't deserve to be a Sochi. You need your membership to be stripped away because you don't deserve it. Anyways, let's go back to the news and let's talk about the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Florentino Perez, in yet another act of desperation, has once again launched an attack against Barcelona only a few weeks since his last tirade. Remember, last time Florentino Perez was addressing the Sochis in a general assembly, and instead of talking about Real Madrid and their finances, what's going on, what are the plans, what's being completed, what's going to be completed, no, he dedicated most of that time to talk about Barcelona and the Negreira case. And of course, Laporta did reply to him. And now he has taken the opportunity to do it again in what was supposed to be a Christmas address to the Sochis of Real Madrid. Once again, Florentino Perez has attacked Barcelona, which is a clear indication that this guy is desperate. Desperate. And this is why he's doing this. He's gaslighting the Sochis and the Madridistas, which, of course, as stupid as they are, they've all fallen for it because they're all buying his crap. Now, why do I say he's desperate? Because it's pretty clear. The president of a successful club usually takes this time, the Christmas speech, takes the opportunity during the Christmas speech to celebrate what the club has achieved during that calendar year and to look forward to what they're going to achieve the following year. That's how usually it works, right? You get up there, it's like, hey, this is what we did this year. We did this and this and this and this. It was an amazing year. But hold on, next year is going to be even better because we're going to do this and this and this and this. This is how it usually goes when presidents of clubs give speeches and their club is actually succeeding. But of course, that's not the case with Real Madrid. They're in total free fall. They spent close to 300 million euros on signings. They brought players like Dean Huijsen, like Mastantuono, like Trent Alexander, which, by the way, has he even played? They brought Mbappe the summer before that. They brought all these guys. They brought a new coach who's supposed to be the next Pep Guardiola. And instead, they are a pathetic team that cannot even beat teams like the bottom of the table, like Girona. And not only that, not only the sporting project is in total decline, let's not forget the whole stadium fiasco, which I've talked about before. It was supposed to cost 700 million. It ended up costing double, 1.4 billion. It ended up taking twice as long. And all they did was wrap metal around their old stadium. They didn't even change anything. Supposed to be, this beautiful stadium, but it looks like a can of tuna. It was supposed to be soundproof, and they were going to hold concerts that was going to bring in millions for the club. Well, that's not going to happen because it's impossible to soundproof it, as the engineers have announced. They were supposed to have an underground parking lot that was also going to bring in millions. The city has shut that down forever. They're not going to have a parking lot. They don't have permission to finish the parking lot. Their pitch was supposed to be state of the art. It was supposed to fold in and protect the grass, and the grass became mud. People were slipping, sliding all over it. Last season, they're saying they were spray painting the grass green, so it looks good. So the stadium has been a total fiasco. Their team is a total fiasco. So, of course, what is there to celebrate? He's not going to come out there and say, hey, guys, yeah, we suck and I'm sorry, it's my fault. No. Let's talk about Barca. Why? To distract. Hey, don't look at me. Don't look at my failures. Look that way. Look, he's robbing you. It's Barca. And, of course, they're Sochis. They're idiot fans. They've all fallen for it. And instead of asking them boring question, hey, why have you spent all this money and our team sucks? Hey, why have you spent all this money and our stadium sucks? No. Negreira. Because unfortunately, that's how stupid people are these days. It's pretty easy to distract them. Now, let's look at what Florentino Perez had to say. As you well know, the extremely serious situation that occurred with the Negreira case for almost 2 decades deserves justice. It is completely incomprehensible that the institutions have left Real Madrid alone in this fight. What are you talking about? The prosecutor's office is investigating. La Liga, on behalf of all clubs, is present in the complaint. They are a party to the complaint. What do you mean the institutions have left Real Madrid? It's you who decided to join the complaint as your own party. I don't know why, where La Liga is there on behalf of all clubs. So no one has left you alone. But anyways, let's continue. How is it possible that the president of the referees asks us to forget it? How can we forget the biggest scandal in the history of football? How can the Royal Spanish Football Federation and La Liga behave this way? They have a duty to ensure integrity. By the way, I do agree with the first part. What he's referring to is the new president of the Technical Committee of Referees, CTA, by the way, chosen by Florentino, came out a few weeks ago and said, hey, we need to move on and forget about the Negreira case. And no, we don't need to move on. We need to get to the bottom of this. The bottom of this is nothing. There's nothing there, okay? This is just has become the perfect excuse for Madrid and Florentino Perez to distract away from their failures. So I do agree there that was a big blunder by the president of the CTA saying, oh, we need to forget about this. No. We need to investigate all the way through, get to the bottom of this, prove once and for all that Barcelona didn't do anything wrong, and then we can move on. And then he's like, how can the Royal Spanish Football Federation and La Liga behave this way? Behave how? They're also parties to the complaint. They're also part of the investigation. Like, what is this decrepit old man ranting about? Anyways, let's continue. The Negreira case is the most serious case in football today. Is it though? Because 2.5 years into the investigation and there's evidence of nothing. But anyways, let's continue. We know that more than 8 million euros were paid for referees' technical reports. And to top it off, the coaches never even received them. Who can believe that these reports, which the coaches didn't even know existed, were paid for? It highlights the need for radical change. Well, let me explain this to you, Mr. Florentino Perez, which you already know this, of course, but you're just talking out of your ass to distract away from your failures. But he is referring to the testimony of Luis Enrique and Ernesto Valverde on Friday in the Negreira case, where they said that, no, they never saw those reports. So now he's using that as, they never saw them. That means they never existed. That means the money that were paid for the reports was actually paid to the refs. Well, you know what else Ernesto Valverde said during his testimony, which this decrepit old man forgets to mention? Ernesto Valverde also said that Athletic Club de Bilbao also have technical reports that he also hasn't seen. But of course, he forgot to mention that. Why? Because all clubs in La Liga, including Real Madrid, all have these kind of reports. They each have either former referees on their payroll, like Madrid. They have Mejia Davila, who's a former referee who works for them, on their payroll, who's married to Yolanda Parga, who's a member of the CTA, and a member of the board of the Royal Spanish Football Federation, and the person who's in charge of promoting and demoting referees, but nobody talks about that. But anyways, all clubs in La Liga have either former referees on their payroll or they have consulting companies on their payroll that produce these reports, these technical reports about refs. This is the same as when let's say Barcelona going to play against Osasuna, they have reports about Osasuna, each player, how they play, what's their favorite, what's certain moves that they make that can indicate what they're trying to do, things like that. Well, all clubs have the same kind of reports about refs. How refs rule, how refs interpret the rules, who's more strict, who's more lax, who likes to show cards, who doesn't show cards. All clubs have them, okay? This is nothing new, right? And just because a club has those reports, it doesn't mean that the coaches are just sitting there every day rifling through them. They're available to them. If they want to read them, great. If they don't want to read them, that's also fine. And that's exactly what Ernesto Valverde said. He said, I never saw them at Barca because I never wanted to see them. Athletic Club, I know they have them too. I've never seen them there either because I don't want to see them. This is like the same argument. This is how stupid this man is. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he thinks his followers his socials are stupid. This is the same thing as saying, let's say you have a library and they're like, all right, have you read Of Mice and Men? No. That means that book doesn't exist in that library. It's like, no, it does. It's there. I just haven't read it. So it's like, this is the same retarded argument. But anyways, his followers, his socials and fans are retarded. So it makes sense that he would make retarded arguments. Let's continue. It's possible that some clubs have been relegated as a result of the Negreira case. Okay. Our football has been damaged and justice must be served. Don't forget that the investigating judge in this case described it as systemic corruption. And investigating judge. You know what an investigating judge's job is? to oversee the investigation. Once the investigation is over, if there's enough evidence to proceed to a trial, then the case proceeds to a trial. And even then, you still have to prove guilt. So not only is there no guilty verdict, there's not even a trial because the case hasn't even left the investigative phase. Why? Because there's nothing. 2.5 years later, and they have found absolutely nothing. Now, the previous judge said that he believed there might be systemic corruption. But guess what? Judges' opinions don't mean fucking shit. Evidence does. I can say, hey, I believe Florentino Perez killed 10 men. Does that mean he did? No, I have to prove it. Anyways, and Barca admitted that these payments were made because they were advantageous. Why? What was the purpose? Real Madrid will continue to press the issue, and you in the media play a crucial role. By the way, nobody in Barca admitted that these payments were advantageous. I don't know where he's getting that from. People have just admitted that, yes, those reports existed. Barca has released them, like here, see, look. And that, yes, that they paid Negreira's company, not Negreira's company, for these reports. This was known, by the way, from day one. Like from 2003 to 2018, Barcelona were making these payments to the company for the reports. This was also always known. Barcelona were filing every year in their finances how much these reports were costing. They were filing it with the tax authorities. Negreira was filing it with the tax authorities. I mean, everybody knew about this. It's no secret. But, you know, the payment to Negreira's company is not a crime. You have to prove that that money didn't go for the reports. It went to refs, which, again, till this day, zero proof of that. But here is the biggest sign of this decrepit old man's desperation. He says, Real Madrid will continue to press the issue, and you in the media play a crucial role. You in the media play a crucial role. Focus on this sentence. Because if supposedly the Negreira case is so real that Barcelona bribed refs, that it wasn't the fact that Barca had the best team in Europe and that's why they crushed everybody. No. It was the refs. So if that's true, that Barca bribed the refs through Negreira, why are you pleading to the press? What does the press have anything to do with this? By the way, most Spanish press is bought by Florentino Perez. El Chiringuito was literally an invention of Florentino Perez, the biggest football program in Spain, and he started it. There was another program before it that he canceled it, and he single-handedly put the Chiringuito show together so it could be the mouthpiece of Real Madrid. But anyway, why are you pleading to the media? If the Negreira case is so real and Barcelona bribed refs, why aren't you pleading to the prosecutor's office? Why aren't you pleading to the courts? Why aren't you saying, hey, authorities, this case is so real, please keep investigating. You're going to find the evidence because it's... No. He is pleading to the media because he knows there's nothing there. He just wants this topic to be the main talking point in the media to keep distracting away from Real Madrid's failures because he knows that in a court of law, none of this bullshit is going to hold up because there's nothing. So focus on that sentence because, again, if you felt like you were wrong, if your neighbor stole your crap and he gets arrested, would you be going to the media and say, media, you are key in this? No, you would be going to the prosecutor and be like, hey, I got evidence. I got him on camera. You need to prosecute this guy. He needs to be found guilty. He needs to go to jail. You wouldn't be pleading to the media. You would plead to the authorities, to the police, to the prosecutors, to the investigators. But no, he pleads to the media because he knows that legally speaking, there's nothing there. But anyways, again, just a desperate attempt by a desperate old man who is noticing that his project is in total freefall. His team is pathetic and nobody respects that team on the field anymore. His club is a total chaos with the whole stadium shenanigans. And instead of being the supposed great president that he is and figure it out and say, hey, look, I messed up, but don't worry. I have a plan. I have a plan on how to revert the situation with our team. Our team is going to get better. We're going to make these signings. We're going to make this, and that. I'm sorry about the stadium. We're going to improve it this way. Instead of being a, reasonable, responsible president, he does what? He instead shifts everyone's attention to the Negreira case, to distract away from his failures, because that's what he is, a failure as a president. He failed the first time. He was forced to resign, and now he's failing again. But this time, He wants you to think that everything's okay and dandy, that the only problem is Barcelona and Negreira. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Florentino. Barcelona stopped paying Negreira back in 2018. How is it that your team is still a failure? I mean, were there like advance payments to refs? They're like, hey, this is good through 2025. Here you go. Care to explain? Probably not. Anyways, let's get back to the comment section, and then we are going to talk about Lewandowski meeting with Jean Laporta. Oh, my goodness. Of course, not him personally. It was his agent, but of course, an agent is, well, an extension of that person. All right, let's see. Slam, the only way, says Madrid is trying to use Negreira case to distract Barca. They know they will never win this case, so they keep pressing the charge with the hope that it will distract our board and affect our plays. I don't think they're using it to distract us. They're using it to distract their own socios and their own fans. Because, if the socios are only focused on what Florentino Perez is doing, they would want his head. But if they're too distracted thinking about Negreira, well, then he can just go unnoticed. Let's see. Dorian says, Yo, Mo, do you think Barcelona isn't going to push further with the 100 mil VIP seats because they're saying it might leave in the January transfer window anyway? No, I don't think so, because whether Ter Stegen leaves or not, it's, it doesn't matter as far to the 1-1. It's going to help with the registration of Joan Garcia, but Ter Stegen leaving is not going to help us achieve the 1-1. But according to the club, the 100 million euro from the VIP seats will. So if you have the chance of making it to the 1-1, why wouldn't you want to take it? Unless it's not going to. Because again, Laporta has told us so many times, so many lies, that I don't even know what's true anymore. David says, do you think someday a female coach can coach a men's team? Yeah, I think so. Why not? Let's see. Barca Mama says, I guess I don't understand how Garcia's registration works. I thought he was registered as long as Mats was out. How can they both play now? Because when you do that, they register him. They give you the registration until the end of the year, until December 31st. That's kind of like Christensen actually came back before the new year. And yet Daniel Olmo and Pau Victor remained registered because the registration is through the end of the year. So even though the other player comes back, you cannot just pull the registration away halfway through the season. So it just stays until December 31st. Let's see. Baja Drift says, good night, Mo. I have a question. Was Juan Garcia registered in place of Ter Stegen? Is now Mats has returned? How could... Oh, okay. I just answered this question. KKPW says, Mo, of all Barca channels I have seen of the past 15 to 17 years, you bring the best news. Well, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. And Justice Boyo, what's up, Justice? He says, Justice Boyo from the Gambia. I like how you always start your comments with that. Justice Boyo from the Gambia. Justice Boyo from the Gambia. It's like, you guys ever seen Ryan Seacrest? When he would end the show, he would say, Seacrest out. That's got to be your thing, Justice. But Justice Boyer from the Gambia says, how far is Barca on the financial fair play and the 1-1 rules as we are back to Spotify Camp? No. That's going to be difficult to say until the end of the financial year, right? Because there's a lot of factors going on. First of all, when are we going to reopen the rest of the first two rings, the 1C? Also, how far are we going to go in competitions, right? Because the further we go in competitions, the more home matches, the more ticketing. Also, how are we going to do merchandise-wise? So this, because believe it or not, the Camp Nou affects merchandising, right? Because the Camp Nou has the biggest Barca store, and people are more likely to buy merchandise when they go to the stadium to watch the game versus when they go to a different stadium to watch the game. Also, that affects things like auxiliary things, like, for example, snacks, food, catering, right? Like going to the Camp Nou and you buy that food, the more home games, the more money you factor from that. Parking. Actually, there's no parking right now. So there's too many factors to really tell now. We're going to have to wait until the end of the financial year, which ends, of course, in June, to see how we did financially across all the sectors. Ticketing, TV rights, awards from competitions, sale of food, sale of merchandising, etc., etc., etc. Let's see. Suleiman says, hello, Mo. How are you doing today? It feels good to be here live again. Hope you are good. Bizka Barca. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining. And yes, it does feel good to be here. I love podcast days. A lifestyle hack says, hey, Mo, watching from Nigeria. I was discussing with my friend who is a Madrid fan and realized all of them always think the same, blaming the referees and making unnecessary excuses. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I see it all the time on social media. It's like as soon as Madrid lose, it's just a slew and a flood of just the ref, the ref, the ref. Like, my God, it's like, I don't know if that's just a syndrome of Madridistas being sore losers, or if that's more of a wide syndrome of society where we have a society that's incapable of accepting responsibility or fault. You know, we're seeing it more and more again. I don't know if this was always the case and social media has highlighted it, or if this just something with the new generation. I don't know, but that seems to be the common thing. Like, hey, I do something doesn't go right in my life. It's not me. It's something else, right? I get an F on my exam, and it's not that I didn't study. It's the teacher hates me, right? I get fired from my job. It's not that I was a shitty worker. No, it's the manager hated me, right? Messi wins the Ballon d'Or. Oh, the Ballon d'Or is rigged. Oh, Messi, which I don't like, wins the World Cup. Oh, the World Cup is rigged. Oh, Madrid loses. Oh, it's the referees. And it's like, bro, grow the fuck up. Be a fucking man. Like, learn how to deal with life's ups and downs. You cannot always look for some exterior excuse and accept responsibility. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, seriously, we have some grown-ass men who acted like 5-year-olds who nothing is their fault. Nothing is their fucking fault. Everything is everyone else's fault. And that seeps into sports, right? It's not my team that's shitty. No, it's the refs. It's the sun. It's the sky. And it's like, if you continue down that road, how are you ever going to succeed in life when you cannot even accept your own failures and try to learn from them and try to improve? Because it's always going to be someone else's fault. So might as well just give up. There's nothing to do, right? There's nothing to learn from. There's nothing to improve on. It's everyone else's fault. Fuck it. Stay at home. Stay in bed. Just continue to be the loser that you are. Jesus. Anyways, share with the donation. Thank you so much, my friend, for your generosity. Bastion says, was raised in Northeast Indiana. Ooh, that sounds cold. I've always loved the snow. Being in Texas, I don't get to see it very often, but when I do, I'm a little kid. We're going to have a shorts and t-shirt Christmas this year, and it sucks. You know what? I do agree. My family's actually going to be in Peru for Christmas. And down there, of course, Southern Hemisphere, it's summer. I'm like, that just doesn't sound right. I'm actually not going to go because I took too long to try to buy my flight, and it was way too expensive. So I'm just going to spend it with my dog. But there's just something weird about, a warm Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be cold, snow. You go out and you can see your breath because it's so cold, and, you want to put a jacket on and drink a hot cocoa. I don't know. That's what Christmas to me is. But yeah, that sounds weird. T-shirts and shorts definitely sounds weird. But anyways, Merry Christmas to you, my friend, and to everyone else watching. And with that, let's get back to the news, because we do have to talk about Robert Lewandowski, because today Lewandowski's agent, Pini Zahavi, who's also Flick's agent, met on Saturday with Joan Laporta in a presidential suite in a hotel in Barcelona. They're saying the meeting took place for 2 hours, during which there was a lot of topics discussed, but one of the topics that was discussed during that meeting was Robert Lewandowski. Or maybe they just, made love to each other and they didn't talk about anything and we're just speculating. I'm kidding. Now, Lewandowski's contract, of course, expires at the end of the summer, at the end of the season in the summer, 2026. Barcelona right now have no plans of renewing the contract. So this is why Pini Zahavi met with Joan Laporta to express that Lewandowski would like to stay at Barcelona for one more season, and he's even willing to take a substantial cut. Like, he's willing to reduce his salary in order to stay for one more season because, of course, he enjoys being a Barca player. He enjoys the city. And, in fact, his wife would also like to stay in the city of Barcelona because, in fact, she has many business ventures that she has started in Barcelona. I think she started a series of gyms, like a gym chain. His wife is a nutritionist and trainer. He actually always credits her with the fact that he's 37 and still playing elite football because she's always been the one who has helped him with his nutrition, his dieting, and his training. Now, during this meeting, Barcelona said, all right, cool, but we're not willing to promise anything right now. What Barcelona want to do, again, for now, renewal is off the table, but they're willing to look at Lewandowski's performance for the rest of the season. And And they also want to analyze the market. They want to see what options are out there, whether they're affordable or not, whether those players would like to come to Barcelona or not. Right? So they want to do all these things before deciding or contemplating if they would be willing to give Lewandowski another season. So Barcelona not promising Pini Zahavi another contract renewal. It's too early to talk about this. Talk to us at the end of the season, where if Lewandowski is still performing at a high level, if there's no options in the market, then they would consider giving him another season where, again, Lewy would be willing to reduce his salary. Now, Lewy so far in La Liga has given us 33 goals his first season, 26 his second, and 38 his third. So if he can match something close to those numbers, 30 plus, Barcelona could consider it again. There's another second factor, depending on also what happens in the market. So if Lewy gives us a great season, there's no other options, then Barcelona would consider another season. Otherwise, it's going to be time to say goodbye to the Polish striker. All right, let's get back to the comment section, and then we'll talk about the complaint that has been filed against Barcelona. I got to tell you, man, I should probably be a lawyer for Barca, because it seems like their lawyers are always busy. They're always getting hit with complaints. It's like, what the fuck? Let's see. Dorian says, with the way we're playing so far in these few matches, I really believe we can win the treble this season and actually win the Champions League. All right. I know we got a little bit spoiled winning 2 trebles, one with Luis Enrique and one with Guardiola, but you have to understand that a treble is an incredibly rare thing and an incredibly difficult thing. It's nearly impossible to win the treble. So don't always expect it. I don't know why we have this bad habit of every season, oh, I think we can win it. It's like, do you understand what it means to win a treble? There's a reason why only a handful of clubs have won it in all 100+ years of history of football. It's incredibly difficult. It's nearly impossible to win it. Now, as far as winning the Champions League, I don't think we're there yet. We still need to improve. Right now, if you look at Bayern, if you look at Arsenal, if you look at who else is absolutely killing it. I don't know why now I can't think of any teams. But Arsenal, Bayern, they all look scary. Even PSG might not look scary in general, but look what they did to us. Completely humiliated us. Chelsea completely annihilated us. So we're not there yet. If we continue to improve, yes, we have a shot. But if not, I don't think we're there yet. Lifestyle Hack says, I asked my friend, how does he expect a club with his players to fail? Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, Alves, Piqué, Suarez, Neymar, Alba, many more. He was quiet. Because here's the thing. A lot of these people, I don't even know whether they believe that the Negreira case is real or not. They just want something to scream and lash out at, right? Because they know. For people who watch football back then, they know. Deep down, they know. Barcelona was the best team in Europe. Their own players. Just recently, Marcelo came out and gave an interview. But their own players, Marcelo, Di Maria, Kroos, Khedira, Sergio Ramos, all these players that played during that era have all come out at one point or another during interviews and said, we were chasing ghosts. That was the best Barca in the history. We couldn't even, Marcelo, just in his latest interview, said, you couldn't even smell the ball, take a whiff of the ball, because they were chasing ghosts. These are Madrid players admitting that that was the best Barca ever and that there was nothing they could do. And yet they want us to believe that it was the refs? Are you fucking kidding me? Did the refs do the tiki-taka? But of course, no one wants to ask these real questions. No one wants to actually understand what happened and what didn't happen. People just want an excuse to lash out and just say, it wasn't Barca, it was the refs. Because of course, it takes, a little bit of emotional maturity to admit, okay, yeah, they were better than us, right? That seems to be very difficult for many, many people. So instead of, doing the adult thing and saying, okay, yeah, they were better than us, Negreira. I really fear for what's to come for planet Earth. Anyways, let's get back to the news and let's do the last bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a complaint that's been filed against Barcelona, and it's in regards to the sale or the transfer of Pablo Torre to Mallorca. Now, Barcelona transferred Pablo Torre to Mallorca back in July. I think it was July 14th, if I remember this correctly, for a number around 5 million euros. Now, Barcelona did not officially announce that it was 5 million euros, but now we found out how much exactly Barcelona got for the transfer of Pablo Torre. And as a result of this transfer fee, Racing Club, which is the club that Barcelona signed Pablo Torre from back in 2022, have filed a complaint against the club. Now, Barcelona signed Pablo Torre from Racing in 2022. And of course, as any signing, there was a fixed amount that Barcelona paid, but there was also a lot of variables, bonuses, etc., etc., etc. Now, one of these variables that Barcelona signed in the contract stated that if Barcelona sold Pablo Torre to someone else in the future for 5 million or more, then Racing de Santander would get a percentage from that sale. Now, we come to find out that Barcelona transferred Pablo Torre to Mallorca for 4.95 million euros. Okay. So in other words, $50,000 more, it would have meant that Racing de Santander would have gotten a percentage from that fee. So Racing de Santander are now alleging that Barcelona did this on purpose in order to avoid Racing de Santander making any money from this deal. And as such, they're saying that this was bad faith, and they have filed a complaint. Now, I got to say, it doesn't look good for Barca. This is kind of like what Atletico Madrid did with Griezmann. Remember where it was stipulated in the contract that if Griezmann played, I think it was 45 minutes of a certain amount of matches, 60%, 70%, something like that, then his price would go up. So then Atletico Madrid started purposely benching Griezmann every match to not meet that clause. So then Barcelona were forced to sell him for 25 mil to Atletico Madrid. This is kind of what they did, if it's true. Or maybe, who knows? Maybe that was his actual value. Anyways, we'll see how the complaint develops. But, yeah, another one against Barcelona. I'm telling you, man, I have to become a lawyer for Barcelona, because it looks like there's work guaranteed if you're a lawyer for Barca. Anyways, let's do a few more comments. And then, of course, the big one, which is the... my keyboard stopped working. There you go. And then we're going to do the giveaway. All right, let's do a few more comments. Make Barca says, Barca in the Negrita era was getting robbed. Messi scored, and they disallowed the goal of the match against United and every Clásico as usual. Not to mention, during the Negrita era, remember that, what was that idiot's name? Mateo Laos rules a completely legal and legitimate goal by Messi as an offside. As a result, Barcelona end up drawing against Atletico Madrid. And as a result, we lose a La Liga title. So Laos, who admitted it himself, actually cost us a La Liga title. But anyways, Klaus says, Barca News Christmas stream on Christmas Day. Oh, actually, yeah, why not? I like that idea. I like it. Barca Mama says, if Lewy is going to take a big pay cut, sign him to give us more time to get FFP. I think so too. I think even if he doesn't perform that great during this season, I think as a sub, I mean, have Ferran start and Lewandowski sub him, and they can rotate the two of them. I think that would be a good option. And then, yeah, like you said, they give us more time to get financial fair play, to get more money, to sign a world class. Because this whole signing a promising center forward or signing, I don't know, we need someone that can hit the ground running, someone in their prime, someone with experience in Europe. In Europe, of course, I mean Champions League, not an actual continent. So yeah, let's see. Cal Hell says it's literally bad faith and stupidity at the highest level to see Real Madrid and see their sheeps accusing Barca of corrupting referees when Marcelo and many other players say it Barca was unplayable. Absolutely, which is exactly what I said. Not only that, not only has been dozens of Madrid players who have come out and said how it was impossible to be against Barca because it was the best Barca in history, but even players like Ramos, who was a Real Madrid legend, a captain, came out and said that, yes, as Madrid players, they were favored. Morata said the same thing, that yes, when he was a Madrid player, he used to get away with a lot more things than he did. Casemiro, as soon as he arrived in Man U, he got 2 or 3 red cards because he was trying to do the same shit he used to do in La Liga and he would get away with. And all of a sudden, he goes to the Premier League, and it's like the Premier League is like, sorry, bruh, Papa Perez is not here. Here you actually get punished for the shit that you do. But no, it was Negrita, remember? Anyways, let's do the draw, ladies and gentlemen. The time has come. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum. Bum, bum, ba. I don't know why I went to the Star Wars song. Anyways, let's share this instead because here is the post. The post. Wait, why can't I see all comments? Is it view insights? No, not insights. What the hell is this? Wait, let's start over again. Over and over again. All right, here we go. I don't know why I can't see my comments. How am I supposed to pick a what the hell? Why can't I see the comments? Anybody? Oh, here's a plus sign. There we go. There we go. We go. All right. Here are all the comments. So in order to participate in the raffle, you had to subscribe to the channel. You had to like that, follow the Instagram page, repost this post, and of course, drop a comment down below. Now, usually I use oh wait, let me hide this. There we go. Usually I use a software that picks the winning comment, but I've been screwed by these softwares where you have to sign up, they charge your credit card, and then it's impossible to cancel. So instead, we're going to do it differently. We're going to do it kind of like we did the giveaway of the Barcelona kit to the members, where I numbered each comment, and then I had a random number selector choose the number, and of course, we match that to the comment, and that's how we know our winner. So we're going to do it here live because, again, total... Hey. What is happening? Oh, right there. Total transparency. We're going to reply to each comment. We're going to number it. In the meantime, I'm going to play music. There we go. So you're not bored. All right. 2, 3. By the way, only one comment per person. So this guy comment twice. Only counts as 1. 4. I know it's taking a while. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should have done this before, but I really wanted to do it live so you guys see the process and don't think I'm just making shit up. 8. Oh, let's play it again. Oh, there we go. Scroll more. Maybe I should just pick a number and then I'll count them. This is gonna take too long. All right, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do there are, I think, 59 comments. Let me see how many comments are there. Where did I see the insights? Oh, right here, view insights. So, how many comments are there? 51 comments. 51 comments, but I think there was some repeats. So we'll do 50. Number 50. All right. So, random number generator. We're going to share this tab instead. And here, we're going to put minimum 1, max 50. And here we go. Forget this 9. That's what just popped up. Now we're going to click pick in 3. Oh, wait. Do I need to make this bigger? There we go. In 3, 2, 1. Generate. Number 5. Okay. Who's number 5? Let's get back to... Hey. How do I get out of the insights? All right, here we go. Why is this Instagram not cooperating with me? Okay, I actually got to number 5. So here we go. Number 1, number 2, number 3. He only counts as 1 because he put 2 comments. Number 4 and number 5. GV Sardino. You are the... Oh, sorry. Here we go. I'll count it again. What a mess. All right, here we go. So here's number 1. Flip is number 2. Champion is number 3, even though he left 2 comments. Pablo's number 4, and GV Sardina is number 5. So congratulations, GV Sardina. You are the winner of the Cat Coulé plushie. You will have 3 days, my friend, to DM me on Instagram so you can claim your prize, which means today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Thursday night, if you have not claimed your prize, I will do a new raffle and the prize will go to somewhere else. So anyways, that is the result of the raffle. Wait, McBarca, is it really you? No way. If it is, man, congratulations. Again, send me a a message, a DM through Instagram so we can arrange for the delivery of the Cat Coulé. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. I don't think there's going to be any videos. I might do a reaction video later tonight, but no news videos because there's no more news. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.